You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
We're in the sidewalk.
People. Only money. Only money. No people. You don't care about human beings. Go.
Justin Bieber just dropped Swag, and no one saw this coming. Not just the album itself, but the way it hit fans like a curveball. No press tour, no major interview, just a quiet release with loud consequences. Within hours, the internet was divided. Some called it his most raw and unfiltered work yet. Others said it sounded like a breakdown in real time. But what if this album wasn't made to chart? What if Swag is Justin's way of finally saying what he's never dared to before? From cryptic lyrics to the eerie silence from his inner circle, this isn't just about music anymore. Something deeper is unraveling, and Swag might be Justin Bieber's most revealing move.
Anticipated. Fans have been waiting for this one since 2021. It is the first since the birth of his son last year. He sings about fatherhood, love.
Yet, Justin Bieber's Swag album didn't just catch fans off guard. It sent shockwaves through the entire music industry. There was no trailer, no lead single, no 24-hour countdown, no PR push, no nothing. It was like Justin walked into the studio, hit upload, and vanished. And for an artist of his magnitude, that silence speaks volumes. Even diehard fans, who usually track his every move, were left confused. One fan posted, "We're used to Bieber giving us Easter eggs, hints, something." This felt like a leak from his hard drive. And it wasn't just fans who were out of the loop. Multiple industry analysts have confirmed that Swag didn't come through any of the traditional promo pipelines.
What do you think of the new album? Have you had a chance to listen through?
Yeah, I actually had a nice walk to work this morning, and I listened to it from...
No coordination with Spotify editorial teams, no Apple Music banners, no iHeartRadio exclusives. It was eerily quiet, too quiet. People close to the situation have hinted that Justin may have intentionally cut out traditional industry machinery. Why? Some speculate he's growing tired of being a product and wanted this release to feel raw and unfiltered. Others suggest the opposite, that something went wrong behind the scenes. Maybe tensions with his label hit a breaking point. Maybe his management didn't approve of the direction the music took. Or maybe Justin just didn't want anyone's input this time, not even the people who built his career.
Interesting posts on social media. Then yesterday, billboards started popping up, appearing to reveal new music on the way.
And when you look at the album itself, you start to see why. The production is stripped down, the vocals are imperfect. The lyrics are often scattered and emotional, with no clear through line except one: frustration. It doesn't sound like someone chasing radio play, it sounds like someone processing something personal in real time. Even the album art looks unfinished. The grainy aesthetic, the chaotic font, the low-effort vibe. None of it aligns with the polished image we usually get from Justin, which made fans wonder, was this intentional? Or did he rush this out as some kind of statement? Whatever the case, the rollout has left even his biggest supporters divided.
Called Swag is complete trash, by the way, just for anybody that's wanting to go to listen to it. It says it's releasing...
Some are calling it brave and vulnerable. Others think it's a sign that Justin's losing his grip, artistically and emotionally. But everyone agrees on one thing. This was not normal Bieber behavior. And this abrupt, unfiltered drop is just the beginning of the chaos that followed. Because what happened after the album hit streaming platforms is when things really got messy. When Justin Bieber released Swag, he probably expected mixed reviews, maybe even some confusion. But what he likely didn't expect was the sheer level of backlash, especially from his own fan base. Within hours of the release, social media was flooded with reactions, and not the kind his team would put in a press release.
Is unfocused, indulgent, all over the place. It's got 3 different skits of Justin Bieber just chatting.
What even is this? One viral comment read. Another top-liked tweet said, "This isn't an album, it's a cry for help." And the hashtag #NotMyBieber? Yeah, that actually started trending. Some fans said they felt blindsided. Not because Justin had taken a new direction, but because the music didn't feel finished. He mumbled through half the tracks, one listener posted. It sounds like he recorded it in his bathroom during a breakdown. Another added, "We waited years for this? I feel like I just got ghosted by someone I've never even met." And the numbers aren't lying either. While Swag pulled in respectable streams at launch, because it's Justin Bieber after all.
New album?
Yes.
Did he do it in secret?
He did it in secret. He told us last night. We were blessed with it this morning.
We were blessed with it
The second day drop-off was steep, like eyebrow-raising steep. Music trackers noticed a significant dip in replays. And even the album's biggest track didn't land in Spotify's global top 10. For a Bieber release, that's unheard of. But maybe the most surprising part of the backlash wasn't the quality of the music. It was how personal it felt. Fans weren't just disappointed in the songs, they were worried about him. TikToks began circulating, breaking down his lyrics, his posture in promo photos, even his expressions during recent sightings. "This isn't the Justin we know," one fan said tearfully. "Something's wrong."
Album with some kind of prayer, even though there aren't any other real religious themes throughout the album.
Some even pointed fingers at his inner circle, his label, his management, and yes, even Hailey. How did nobody stop him from putting this out like this? One user questioned. Where's the support system? And when people started analyzing the lyrics more closely, let's just say things took a darker turn. Because a few lines didn't just seem raw, they seemed like cries for help, tucked inside verses about fame, faith, and feeling forgotten. And that brings us to the next question everyone's been asking. Was this just an experimental drop? Or is Justin trying to say something he can't say directly? Because there's one lyric in particular that has people completely stunned.
Album that I'll revisit, only time will tell. I'm intrigued to know you guys' thoughts on Justin Bieber's surprise album, Swag.
And it might be the biggest red flag of all. Buried in the middle of Swag's hazy, genre-blurring track list is a lyric that stopped listeners cold. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't aggressive, it was almost too subtle, which somehow made it feel way more intentional. On the track Ghost Mode, Justin sings, "Tired of praying through a glass, they don't see me when I crash." At first glance, it reads like typical Bieber poeticism. But the more fans listened, really listened, the more that line started to haunt them. Because when you pair that lyric with his recent behavior, the erratic Instagram posts, the barely there press rollout,
most people are not loving the new Bieber album. Mediocre.
The sudden shifts between ultra-private and unexpectedly public. It started to feel like a confession. Reddit threads exploded overnight. "Is Justin okay?" became a recurring headline, and fan theories quickly snowballed into full-blown concern. Some believed the lyric was a shot at the music industry. Others thought it was a play directed at his inner circle. But the one theory that really stuck, that this was a coded message about his marriage. He's literally saying no one sees him, one TikToker argued, overlaying clips of Justin looking distant beside Hailey at recent events. Not his fans, not his team, not even his own wife.
Hailey shared one of his many posts about the album. This was in Times Square.
It didn't help that another track, Left Unread, featured Justin murmuring, almost under his breath, "I gave her oceans, she gave me echoes." That line alone launched thousands of reaction videos, many zooming in on Hailey's recent solo outings, her cryptic posts, and the fact that Justin hasn't mentioned her directly in any Swag promo. To make matters even murkier, fans noticed he unfollowed a few longtime friends and collaborators right around the album's release. No explanation, no comment, just gone. So now, with the dust settling and the initial shock wearing off, one question is echoing louder than any song on Swag. Was this album a creative risk?
Media, it's mixed to, I would say, more so than not negative.
or an emotional red flag? Because if Justin's trying to send a message, it's not just fans who are listening anymore. Industry insiders are starting to weigh in, and some of their observations are making this situation look a whole lot darker. When Swag finally dropped, it wasn't just fans who raised their eyebrows. It was the entire music industry. Sure, Justin Bieber has always taken risks. From the transition out of his boyfriend era to his raw, vulnerable changes and Justice albums, he's never been afraid to evolve. But Swag, it left people confused. Because this time, it wasn't just a shift in sound, it felt like a shift in identity. One music critic put it bluntly.
He has no soulfulness in his voice. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's like Justin made an album for himself and forgot anyone else was listening. Instead of a carefully curated track list, Swag plays like a collection of diary entries. Moody, cryptic, and oddly disjointed. There are moments of brilliance, yes, but they're buried beneath tracks that feel half-finished or emotionally detached. And what really set alarm bells ringing? The complete lack of promotion. No interviews, no press tour, no music videos, not even a surprise performance. Some fans theorized that Justin was pulling a Beyoncé-style drop, letting the art speak for itself. But insiders have hinted there might be something else going on behind the scenes.
Marriage with Hailey Bieber, and those are all topics that are covered throughout the album in the 21 songs that we...
According to a source at Def Jam, the label wasn't thrilled with how Swag was handled. Apparently, they expected a more traditional rollout, especially after rumors swirled about Justin re-signing a major contract deal. Instead, he delivered an unpredictable experimental album and walked away from all the standard promo. Even Spotify numbers reflected the disconnect. While initial streams were strong, as expected for a Bieber release, momentum plummeted by day 3. Some tracks dropped out of trending charts completely. And that's where things get serious, because when a global superstar like Justin drops an album and the industry shrugs, that's not just a misfire, it's a message.
About how people are just concerned about him and the things that he posts on social media and how that really upsets him.
Whether intentional or not, Swag is painting a picture of a man pulling away from his label, from his fan base, maybe even from himself. And if the lyrics weren't enough to tell that story, the silence around them is starting to do the job. Now here's where it gets even messier, because some fans believe Swag isn't just about Justin's personal journey. They think it's a not-so-subtle message to Hailey. And they might be onto something. Throughout the album, there's a recurring theme of distance, regret, and emotional disconnect, but without ever naming names. One track in particular sparked intense speculation. In it, Justin sings about being in love with someone who changed in silence and how he's now living in a house that doesn't feel like home.
His terms. He isn't the type of person to want to sit down and do a ton of interviews and do a lot of press and a promotion.
Fans immediately zeroed in on that lyric because it lines up with everything that's been whispered about his marriage lately. From Hailey showing up solo to major events, to Justin's recent public breakdowns and isolated appearances. But that's not all. In another song, he talks about watching her leave before she even packed a bag, and holding on to a future that slipped into the past. That doesn't sound like just a metaphor. That sounds like a relationship unraveling in real time. Some listeners even drew parallels between this album and Justin's early track, Where Are You Now, except this time, it's him being the one left behind.
Because he just released a new album and it's actually so good. And the photos they took for it are so adorable. Hailey's glowing per usual.
To make things even more suspicious, Justin dropped the album just days after Hailey posted cryptic Instagram stories about boundaries, resetting, and energy protection. She didn't mention him once. And remember, the album rollout had 0 mentions of his wife. No joint appearances, no posts from Hailey, not even a congrats in her story. That's not just unusual for a power couple, that's glaring. So what are fans saying? That Swag is his breakup letter. that this album wasn't made for the charts, it was made for closure. And if that's the case, then Justin may have said more in 12 tracks than he's ever shared in an interview.
It was so cute. He looks so free and unbothered, and I think that's exactly what they need. People just need to start leaving them alone.
While fans are busy decoding lyrics and looking for signs, the music industry has had a very different kind of reaction. One that's oddly quiet. Usually when Justin Bieber drops an album, the floodgates open. You'll see reposts from other artists, shout-outs from A-listers, press junkets, interviews, streaming playlists. But this time, crickets. There were no big collabs hyped in advance, no massive push from Spotify, no trending challenges on TikTok. Even longtime friends and collaborators like DJ Khaled or Usher didn't say a word. It's almost like the industry didn't know what to do with swag. And it's not just about promo. Behind the scenes, whispers are surfacing that some executives feel Justin dropped the album too soon.
Up of swag. Album cover looks like it's him holding his son Jack. More photos have gone around of Justin.
Or worse, out of desperation. A top comment from a Music Insider thread said, "This feels more like therapy than strategy." Even industry bloggers started asking the same question. Is Justin trying to stay relevant or just trying to be heard? And that distinction matters because it speaks to where Justin is emotionally. Some say this album wasn't meant to win Grammys or break streaming records. It was his way of taking back the narrative. But ironically, that silence from his peers only made things louder for fans. Because when someone as famous as Justin Bieber drops an album and the industry doesn't blink,
it would not be a Bieber reaction if I'm not crying, right? That just hit me.
You start to wonder if something bigger is going on behind the scenes. With the rollout of Swag feeling so off, fans took it into their own hands to make sense of what's really going on. And what they uncovered might explain everything. Reddit threads, fan accounts, and TikTok deep dives all point to one idea. Justin's been sending coded messages for months. Not just through the lyrics, but through the timing of his posts, the visuals in his stories, and even what he's not saying. One viral theory claims the album cover itself, subtly edited and oddly low-res, was designed to feel like a leaked draft, not a polished release. Why? Because fans believe Justin never wanted it to go through label filters.
Happy to be getting new Justin music. Bro, why am I crying this much already?
In the first place. This was him hitting upload without permission. Another post shows a timeline of recent erratic behavior. Sweaty detox selfies, cryptic captions, and awkward public moments with Hailey, lined up directly next to Swag's surprise launch. And the overlap is undeniable. But what made fans really stop and stare? A line from one of the unreleased demos that allegedly didn't make the final cut. "You said I'd lose everything if I ever told the truth." It's not clear who that line is about, but fans are convinced this album was never about music. It was a final message, a digital diary. And now, people aren't just streaming Swag, they're dissecting it.
Singing in any of these songs except for maybe one or two of them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. It's pretty bad.
Because when your fans start treating your album like a cry for help, you know this goes deeper than the charts. With Swag making waves for all the wrong reasons, some fans are starting to wonder, was this Justin Bieber's way of saying goodbye? He's been in the industry since he was a kid, controlled, molded, pushed into the spotlight with barely any room to breathe. And now, Swag feels like a rupture. Not just a break from his label, but from the version of himself the world thinks they know. The rollout had no promo, no tour dates, no interviews, just a raw drop. And the music? It wasn't even trying to chase hits. It was personal, conflicted, at times even painful to listen to.
Chill, but Justin doesn't want fans to think that that means that it's slow and depressing or sad, but that it's still.
Insiders claim Justin has already cleared months off his schedule, turning down major brand collabs and canceling tentative festival bookings. Some think it's for mental health, others suspect legal or contract drama. But a growing group of fans believe this is something even bigger, a quiet exit plan. Comments on his recent posts read like goodbye notes. He's done and we just don't see it yet. This is his last project before disappearing again. He's not okay. And honestly, they might be right, because when someone as famous as Justin Bieber drops an album like this, no promo, no polish, no warning, it's rarely just for the art. It's a message. And whether we've caught it in time, might be the scariest part of all.
And this body of work is what he wanted to put out now and how he wanted to put it out.
Justin Bieber's Swag album wasn't just music, it was a cry for something deeper. Behind the glitz, fame, and studio polish, there's a man clearly battling demons, expectations, and maybe even the industry itself. From his cryptic lyrics to the eerie silence surrounding the release, fans aren't just listening, they're worried. Is this the start of a comeback or the final chapter before Justin disappears again? Let us know what you think in the comments. Are fans overreacting or finally seeing the truth? And if you're still watching, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the stories they don't want you to see.